Assalamu alaikum. Today I will be making string beans with potatoes. It is also called the same aloo. It's a very famous dish in Pakistan. Usually people eat with boiled rice or they eat it with the bread. Usually they cook this in the afternoon for lunch. So today I'm making this delicious dish. So let's begin. So here is the list of things that you will be needing to make the same aloo or string beans with potatoes. So quickly I'll tell you, you'll need about 1 pound, 1.5 to 1 pound of string beans. You will need like a small, I have very small little potatoes as you can see. If you have big potatoes, just use 2. If you have small potatoes just like that, use 4 to 5. I love to add potatoes because it has potassium and your body needs potassium. And I have one small, I would say medium onion. And then I have 3 small little Roma tomatoes. And I'm using like about 4 to 5 cloves of fresh garlic. And I will be using vegetable oil about 6 tablespoons to 8 tablespoons. And over here for the spices, I'm only using 4. So salt, 1 teaspoon. Chili pepper powder right here. I'm using 1 level teaspoon. Um, Turmeric, I'm using about 1/4 of a teaspoon. And over here I have cumin, whole cumin. I'm using level 1 teaspoon. So a few of my friends complained that my food is a bit spicy. So I was telling them for the chili, red chili, use half a teaspoon. If you don't want something to be spicy, just don't use too much red chili. And also I'm using 2 long green chilies. So if you don't want something spicy, don't add them. And that's about it. So now quickly, I'm gonna start off cutting the onions. So I'm gonna slice them, try to slice them very, very thin. You do not want to have the onions very thick. So try to cut them as thin as possible, just like that. You see, they're thin. Just cut them like this. So on a very high flame, usually I fry my onions on a high flame. So I'll be adding about, like I said, 6 to 8 tablespoons of oil right here. You can use less if you like to, but that's how much I'm using. And I will be adding my onions, the ones I sliced, the ones I sliced. And there you go. And I will just stir this. And now I will just cover it and bring it to medium. And I will let them fry and keep on checking on them. Don't just forget about them. Just keep on checking and stirring, just stir a little bit now and then. And after that, once they are golden, add add the garlic and tomatoes and the spices. So we'll give it like about 5 minutes. And like I said, keep on opening it and stir frying them just like that, okay? And I don't want you to forget about the onions because otherwise they're gonna burn. So quickly, I will show you how to cut the other veggies very quickly. I will just do one tomato for you, and then rest you can just do it on your own. It will just save time for us. So that's why I'm not showing you everything step by step. So here you go. This is my tomatoes, and for this recipe, usually I cut my potatoes like in this form, just like that. And there you go. That's how you should be cutting your potatoes. And for the garlic, I'll show you just one and you do the rest. So just open it from the middle, cut it from the middle, hold it from this end right here, just like I'm doing it, and then take this off. And I have a nice clove in my hand. For this recipe, for vegetables, remember, I told you, dice them. Don't crush them. Just dice them like that, because you want to have a flavor, but you don't want to crush them. See how nicely I have diced them like this? That's how you will be doing it. And for my pepper, green pepper, I will just cut it into small pieces, which I will garnish it, and one pepper I'll add it, and one I will just garnish it. And for the string beans, I wanted to show you how to do the string beans. Don't do it one by one, it's gonna take the whole day. So what I do, look, I took a bunch, take the ends off, just like I am doing it, bring them all in one line, just like this, look. Bring them in a line, line them up like that, and just take off the ends. Okay, it's easy. And now, since the ends are off, now I will cut them into small little pieces. Do you see how small I am cutting? For this recipe, I do not want you to cut these string beans into very, very small pieces. Just cut them like this, the way I'm doing it. Do you see the size of this? Right here. Here you go. So that's how I want you to cut. So let me show you another bunch, and I hope you will save a lot of time the way I'm cutting it. And also take a closer look if something is bad or is rotten or something like that. Take them out and always line them up just like the way I'm lining it up. So you can cut more string bean in one shot, not just one string by string and waste your time, your entire day cutting the string beans. You don't want to do that. Just line them up like this, the way I do it. Bring them like at the same level, like this. And now just cut the ends, okay? Right here. I'm going to cut the ends. Here you go. The ends are off. And now I will just cut the string beans into smaller pieces, just the way I showed you before. I hope, because there are a lot of strings, and if you're just a couple or two people, then I'll probably cut this recipe in half, like use everything cut in half, because there are a lot of strings, but we are a big family, so I need more strings to cook. So that's it. So as you can see right here, my onions, which are golden now, not brown but golden. This is the color I'm looking for. And at this point, I think for vegetables, this color is good enough. I'm not going to make them brown. Golden is a good color. And at this point, I will add my 3 Roma tomatoes right here, and I will add my garlic, and that's all I will be adding for now. And if you want to add the green chili, go ahead and do it. And there you go. We'll just mix it all up. And I will use just one chili, green chili. And if you don't want spicy, don't choose it. And here you go. All my spices are gonna go in there, all 4 of them. And I'm gonna give it a good stir. And I would say just a little bit of water, just so this masala will cook and the tomatoes will nicely cook. And I will keep the heat on a medium high. And here you go, and I will cover it so the tomatoes will soften up for about 5 minutes, and I'll keep on checking as well. So once the tomatoes are softened up, I will just stir fry them again and then add the string beans. It's so easy. So once the ends are off, do you see? I had about one and a half pound of string beans. As to save the time, I just take them all together and cut them. Yeah, you don't have to worry about the size. Some is small, some is big, but it's okay. You know, they will be all cooked at the same time in the same pot. So I don't have too much time today, actually. So I'm just trying to save some time, and I am cutting the whole thing together. And you'll probably find it very funny, but yeah, I just cut them in a in a in a bunch. You know, I don't cut the string beans one by one, and of course I took the ends off because ends are not eatable, and I took the ends off, and now they're perfect, and I am cutting them like this. So if you are a working woman, it'll save you a lot of time. And I'm not a working woman, but still, I have other things to do. So I don't want to invest so much time in cutting the vegetables. So I find some tricks where I can save some time and be fast. And at the same time, I get the job done. Do you see that, how I'm doing it? I hope you are following it, and you will do the same thing. It's a bit tricky, but once you get the hang, just do it just the way I'm doing it. I'm not an expert. If I can do it, so can you. So here you go. I am done with cutting within, I would say, it was a minute or so. See how many string beans I have cut within a minute. Not even a minute. See, I'm done. So there are little tricks that you have to learn how to save time and energy. And here you go. All my string beans are cut, and they're all fresh, not frozen. So it has been 5 minutes on a medium flame. Let's check on our masala. Wow, see how it is bubbling, and it's all nicely mixed together. And I think this is what I'm looking for. The tomatoes are softened up, and everything is mixed very well, and the spices that I added are well cooked as well. And at this point, I'll add the string beans. So these are all my string beans, and they're gonna go into the masala. And I will mix them very, very well, just like that. Mix them. And then I will add about half a cup of water. So here goes my water. It's about half a cup, and I'm gonna stir it again, just like that. And now on a medium flame, I will close the lid again, cover it like that, and I will let it cook for about I would say 10 to 15 minutes. And then once the string beans are a little soft and bit cooked, I will add the potatoes then, because you don't want to add potatoes with the string beans, because string beans are very, very hard, and they take time to cook. And potatoes usually 10 to 15 minutes the potato cook fully. So you don't want to add the potatoes with the string bean. So let's put the timer on for about 10 to 15 minutes and check back. So after 10 to 15 minutes, I check back. The water is all dry, and my beans, let me check. So the beans are totally cooked, and they are not very hard anymore. And so now at this point, I will add my potatoes in there. The ones I cut previously. They're gonna all go inside the pot. And now for the potatoes, You just have to watch out for them. You don't want to overcook them. And I will just mix them all well, just like that. And since there's no water whatsoever, so I'm going to, again, use about half a cup in there, just so the potatoes will cook. For the potatoes, I'll put the timer on for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, but do check, okay? Do check. Some potatoes can be cooked in 10 minutes, so it's up to the potatoes how long they will take. So I would say 10 to 15 minutes. I have mixed them really, really well. And now quickly, I will just cover it nicely and then leave this on a medium flame for about 10 to 15 minutes. So let's check back. So here you go. I have dished out my string beans and potatoes after 15 minutes, and 15 minutes is good enough time for potatoes to cook. And I tasted this dish and it came out to be very, very tasty. So I'm hoping that you're gonna give this a dish a try and eat it with the rice or flatbread. And do write a comment and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.